Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to talk about the Asian session. It's like the stepchild of Forex trading. Many people don't want to pay attention to the Asian session, but it's actually a session that can give you some easy money. We all know that many people prefer to trade the London session as well as the New York session because they tend to have more volatility and more volume. So if you're looking for bigger moves, if you're looking for more volatility, definitely you would want to be trading in the London and New York session, especially the London and New York session overlap. So many people tend to just shy away from the Asian session, but the Asian session does hold some riches as well. It does hold some riches. Asia is one of the major economic hubs on the globe, so yeah, definitely it's worth looking into, especially if you are like me. I'm based in South Africa, so the time that Asian session happens is usually very early in the morning. So if you probably the way your work schedule or whatever you do during the day, you do not find any time to be trading forex. Of course, you can shift to higher time frames, but if that is not your thing, because let's face it, higher time frames sometimes are boring because the opportunities are here and there. But if you also want to aggressively be trading forex, then if you don't have time to do it during during the day, then obviously you can just wake up early in the morning and do your trading. And it's also good because during that time, if you're in South Africa, your spouse is asleep, the kids are asleep, basically everything else is asleep. So you can have a quiet time to be trading and focusing on the market. It's also a good session for people in the United States. If for any reason you cannot wake up early to trade London session, or if you obviously cannot be trading the New York session because you are busy at work, you can definitely look into Asian session because it opens at the time right when you guys are going back home. So if you want to be trading after work, then you can certainly look into Asian session. So many people don't actually like Asian session because it's slow, but that's actually what makes it good because let's maybe we change there as we go, because low liquidity in the Asian session and low volatility actually makes it very easy to spot entries. Very easy to spot entries. If you know Asian session, if you've probably dabbled in it, Asian session loves to range. If even in with news, major news, usually you see that something happens in Asian session. The move usually only happens in London session. That's the character of Asian session. It just allows to create these small boxes. Let me maybe drop down to the lower time frames. Let's go down to 15-minute time frame. This is Euro USD. Again, where I am in South Africa, you get Asian session around starts around 1 a.m. Let me just close this. Sorry about that. Basically, around 1 a.m. Two-ish, that's when the Japanese session actually opens. So, if you are in South Africa, you're basically looking around this. So, this I wanted a box. Let me do that. So, from around this area, I'm hoping that I spotted it well. From around this area, we actually have Asian session, and this is Asian session with a bit of London session overlap. I think the overlap goes until around 11ish or something like that. So this will be your Asian session. You can see how it's so calm. So you can easily spot a buy here, and you basically have to close your trade there, and you can easily what you can easily get your 25 pips there. Yeah, this is 15-minute time frame, and if you go down further, you can what easily scalp this. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do with agent session. You want to look for quick scalp trades. You don't want to exactly hold trades for too long, because what it usually does is it ranges a bit, it ranges during the session, and then at London session it breaks out. It breaks out either to the upside or to the downside. So if you hold long-term trades that you took in the Asian session, sometimes when the breakout happens in London session, you might be caught out on the wrong side of the market. So you are not looking to hold the trades for too long. Now, if you are looking for a very quiet pairs to trade, then definitely you want to be looking at pairs like Euro USD. Why? Because the London session is closed, the New York session is closed. So there is going to be little movement. There's going to be like little movement. You can easily pick tops and bottoms with these small movements, and which also helps with risk management. So there is no chance of your stops being hit, because New York session and London session are currently closed. So there is going to be like you can buy and have confidence in that buy, or you can sell and have confidence in that sell. But let's say you say no, I'm not looking for quiet place to trade during Asian session. I'm also looking for something also volatile in the Asian session. Since you love to scalp and you love movement, then obviously you are going to look for crosses of the Japanese yen, as well as Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. So you are probably going to go, this is Swiss franc versus Japanese yen. You see, now the picture is changed. Now it's still not as volatile as during the London session, the New York session, but you can what? You can see you have some good movement, better than on Euro USD. Maybe let's take GBP USD to also illustrate. Okay, this is GBP USD, and we can notice that we have our range here. Let's do that. It starts somewhere around there, but it's very easy to spot. Very easy to spot, and is our box there, and it will probably go around this, because we're including the London session overlap. London session overlap. So that will be that's around 1ish, and I'm looking for two ways 250. That's around so my box should be starting around thereabouts. So GBP USD, again, you can see small movements that are very predictable. Small movements that you can actually basically take a sell there, guaranteed, take a buy there, and you are not looking to hold these trades for a very long time. You're probably going to be using moving average crosses with what these small moves, and you're going to what to be scalping the shit out of this thing, and you can what you can basically make your money. Now, if you want volatility, then obviously you need to just watch fundamentals, especially fundamentals for the New Zealand dollar. Again, we are going to start here. Uh, where is my 2 o'clock? My 2 o'clock starts around. For me, agent session starts around 2 a.m. That's when the Sydney and Tokyo guys are actually at work. So two-ish starts around there. Then obviously we want to extend it to around something around 10, 11, so that we have a bit of an overlap with London session. So you can easily do this. You can see this is our agent session. You can easily pick the tops and bottoms for this thing without having the danger of what this happening of weeks and stops getting taken out. So yeah, if agent session is something that you want to look into, definitely look into that. You can get fundamentals here. Definitely, you can get fundamentals here. News will come and it will not spike wildly. Usually, for example, if you are looking at dollar crosses with the Asian currencies, usually you might have some slight movement with the news announcement, but nothing more than that. It will probably just drop again and it will continue. Then in the London session, that's when they start taking in that news that was released during the Asian session. And then you start seeing the greater movement in the London session or in the New York session. So that's how you can what trade the Asian session, and you can also use basically the breakout strategies. In the mornings, if you wake up on my time zone again in South Africa, and you spot the Asian block, you can definitely place your limit orders outside that block, and London session will usually break out of those blocks, and that's how you can also spot where London session is going to go, given what has been happening in the Asian session. So definitely, the Asian session is something that you need to pay attention to if you don't have time to be catching the New York session as well as the London session, and if you don't like too much volatility and maybe you things are not working out for you in the London session, New York session, you definitely look into Asian session. It's very slow. You can definitely scalp it. You can easily pick out the tops and bottoms, and you can easily manage your risk. Don't expect too much movement that would take out your stops and things like that. That's how you would want to trade the Asian session. Very easy to trade session, not so volatile. If you're looking for more volatility, well, wait for London session and New York session, but definitely worth your time to be looking at Asian session. If you're new on this channel, please consider subscribing so that you don't miss future videos. Go ahead and like the video. If you have any more questions around Asian session trading and stuff like that, leave them in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer your questions. The broker that I use, see the links in the description box below. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.